are different, but united in one nation.
It's time for us to gather together.
I'm saying yes, because yes means positivity.
I say yes to a better healthcare system because nobody's life should have to be cut short for things that can easily be fixed.
Join the movement. Say yes to a better Nigeria.
Yes to a better creative industry because it will boost our economy and make our country greater.
I'm saying yes, we can do it. About road, we can do it. About infrastructures, we can do it. Good education, yes, we can do it.
Join the movement. Say yes to a better Nigeria.
Yes to a better Nigeria.
Join the evolution by visiting the website at www.yesnigeria.org.
The woman.
Good evening and welcome to The Woman. My name is Priscilla and it's great to be here. I hope you're all doing well out there. Thank you for joining us on the show tonight. We have a packed show for you, but first of course is our gorgeous Miss Ike. Good evening, Miss Ike.
Good evening. It's wonderful to be here. We have a very interesting show today, and I'm looking forward to it.
Fabulous. And we have two ladies that are joining us today. Today we're going to be discussing, as you know, it is our Christmas period. And in this Christmas period, as you know, in the UK here, it's all about the giving. What are we giving to whom and how? So our ladies here tonight are going to be sharing with us on some of the areas that they are working to make things better for humanity. And our first one up is Miss Lynn Konowa.
That's correct, Konowa.
So Lynn Konowa is working with Womanhood Global. Basically, tell us what you're doing there.
Okay, I'm Lynn Konowa Global, and what I do is I empower women through makeup, and I help them to find their beauty.
Okay.
As well, the inner beauty, that is the more important one. And through that, I met Woman Globalhood through the social media. And the Woman Globalhood is a charity organization.
Okay. We're going to go more into that a bit later.
A bit later. Okay, I'll tell you how I am involved with it. Well, we are doing the 1 million pad campaign for disadvantaged women in
Fabulous.
Zimbabwe. Yes.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Great to have you. And of course, our next guest tonight, her name is Lynn Ikele. Lynn, good evening. And I have taken Fumi's name as Lynn's. Forgive me. So our next guest is Fumi Ikele. Good evening, Fumi, and welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm very
My
well,
apology there for calling you Lynn.
It's all right.
I had Lynn on the tip of my tongue. So, tell us a little bit about your charity and that you work with.
Right. I manage Barking Food Bank, one of the 5 projects run by the Whole Family Trust. We're based in Barking, and we tackle food poverty in the bar.
That's interesting, food poverty. Well, we're going to come back to learn more about the food poverty and the 1,000 million women sanitary provision that Womanhood Global are trying to achieve over this period. But first up, so much has been happening, Miss Ike, has it not?
It has.
You got London Underground to pause recently, didn't
Please
you?
stop, please stop. You know, I don't normally do this, but I'm going to do it.
Yes.
So what
That is in honor of TFL.
Wow.
Long live TFL. This is a campaign of
Most
mine.
people will curse. Long live TFL. This is serious. What happened? What did
You know,
TFL do?
you have to give credit where credit is due.
I agree.
I mean, I'm a driver, so I don't normally take the underground. Took the
Forgive
underground,
us,
yes.
Memotos who do
I
this.
know. I'm so sorry. What can I say? But A13 isn't great, so don't worry. You're not missing anything. But yes, yesterday I accidentally dropped my glasses underneath the
Are you for
train
real?
for real, and I was like, did that really happen? Yes, it did.
Wow.
And so I waited for the train to move. And can you imagine? I was waiting for the crunch to hear the glasses go, but that didn't happen. And then I looked down. I couldn't see it. I didn't have any glasses on.
Oh no.
So I then got a young attendant to have a
Yeah.
look, and she found it. She saw it. And I thought I would have to come back and pick it.
Yeah.
I was ready to come back.
Yeah.
Sort of expensive and precious to me.
Yeah.
But what happened was that they said that they would do it there and then for me, which was like, really?
So did they wait for the trains to
They
go
wait.
and
They
then
waited. There were several trains that went by, and every
Was
time
it
I was
rush
like,
hour?
Lord, please don't let them go on my. Yeah, it was a kind of rush hour. They actually stopped not just the train, the whole, district. Circle line.
Oh no! You
I had to do
contributed.
the video. Please don't tell everybody.
Okay, it's okay. All right.
But yes, so if you were sort of late coming home, held up, it was sort of my fault.
Oh, but thank God you recovered your glasses.
So
Thank God
thank
it
you,
didn't smash
TFL. I've
when
never
it
advertised,
fell.
and you can come and see us later.
That is so nice. I wish I could share a similar story, but I must confess, I had an experience last week that I actually stood in front of these people and I said, it would never have happened in my Heathrow Airport.
No.
It became my Heathrow Airport. So this is my experience. I was dashing out of town and I was flying with Lufthansa. So for everybody that is going with Lufthansa this season, listen up. So I'm, connecting in Frankfurt. I was feeling so good. I'm at the airport. I'm in time. I was all of that. And, you come off and they say to you, transit passengers, you have these agents that are going transit passengers. So I identified myself because I didn't want to miss my flight.
Yeah.
And they tell me gate B25, different to the gate on my boarding pass. Anyway, so I thought, next people that I see tell me gate B25. So I go, I get to B25. I'm thinking, hang on a minute. This flight says Abuja, Port Harcourt, no Lagos. Right. So I'll go to inquire. They're like, sorry, Lagos is at B58, my original gate on my boarding pass. Anyway, I've missed the flight. Wow. So I go to their service desk and I'm saying, look, I just missed the flight. This is what happened. Your agents told me. They looked me in the face and they said, who are these agents? Who did they work for? I said, well, I don't know. But they were in uniform and they were standing there after we got off our flight and they were asking for transit passengers. And I identified myself. So they said, well, they don't work for us. So, sorry, it's your fault. I was like, what? My fault? Right, okay. So what does that mean? Well, we will change your ticket for you. We will do you a favor. Yeah. But you have to pay us 158 euros. So I was like, right. By the way, by the time I got there, there were a few other people who had been waiting. And then some others came and were narrating similar stories.
All right.
So I then said to the lady, clearly, I'm not lying to you. If these people have also had the same experience, then somebody is clearly telling us this. Anyhow, cut a long story short, she says to me, come back in an hour. Eventually, they changed my ticket without me paying them. I stood my ground and I said, well, not only do I not have the 50 euros because I wasn't intending to use euros here, but even if I did, I won't give it to you. But you're going to change me to tomorrow's flight. Cut a long story short, I go off on my journey, I come back. On my way back, I run into a fellow passenger who was traveling on the same day with me. She was on the same flight coming back. So we get talking, and then she tells me the story of receiving emails to change the gate, telling her about gate changes, and also this information that we got. So she literally ran around the airport and eventually made it to the flight that I missed. But then she gets to the gate, and there are a whole load of passengers that are, so the flight is overbooked. So the day before it was overbooked, so they've moved passengers onto my day, it's overbooked again, and they're now going around telling passengers, look, can you stay another night and we'll give you money and rebook you. So my flight was already overbooked, but they didn't take responsibility and say, look, we're sorry about what happened to you, we'll book you on tomorrow's flight. Nothing of the sort.
Instead, they were trying to get more money from you.
They demanded that, and they demanded it. They looked me straight in the face, looked others straight in the face, and said 150 euros or nothing. So I stood my grounds. Eventually, they changed my flights. And you know what they said to me? Some of the others that you saw here paid, so please don't say anything to them.
Oh,
Whoa.
oh wow.
Indeed, I met one of the guys the following day getting on my flight, and he told me he paid 600 euros to have that change and then had to pay for his hotel. So if you're traveling Lufthansa this season, they deliberately do not make announcements at Frankfurt. They won't. And to make matters worse, I had an hour transit period, which they told me was sufficient. It was international standards. I had nothing to do, you know, but my flight stopped in one terminal. I had to get on a train to get to this terminal where my connection was, and I had to go through security again. So it's just to help you. If you're traveling this season, wherever you're going to, and you're connecting with Lufthansa, they are cold-faced. They will tell you to your face 150 euros or goodbye.
You see? TFL all the time.
I was so pained. I was so pained. And I said to them, you guys did not even tell me where I could drink water. You didn't even say, here's a voucher, get a meal. You didn't even tell me where the restaurant was. How can you be so inhuman?
Come on the Woman Show, we give you water.
Thank you. Thank
Cheers
you.
to the water.
So that was my Lufthansa experience. So for you out there, if you've booked your tickets already, I beg you, just run when you get to Frankfurt and look out, because they keep changing it. They will send you emails for changes and all of that, and keep all that information.
Thing, but I'm not sure why they're doing that. Really,
it's standard, isn't it? It happens all the
They're
time.
not the only airline that does that sort of thing.
No.
But then to charge you to go on to another flight, which they should put you on if they are overbooked, that is painful.
No, it was evil. I considered it evil, and I wasn't the only one.
Sharp practice going on there.
It's beyond the sharp practice, but they're getting away with it. That's why they're doing it.
So stand your ground.
Stand your ground. Don't shout. Don't scream. Don't insult anybody. But stand your ground and point out their wrongs. And also let them demand. Just tell them that you're not.
Complaint, which is what we don't normally do.
Oh no, that's going to them, because I've got all the details of all the different changes that they made, and I'm sending. Even on my way back, they changed our gates as well.
Do you
They
know,
changed the gates severally.
it's such a shame, because I think that's how you read people off.
Yeah.
Because you just want to get to your destination.
That's all I
you
was
just end up
thinking.
paying and forget about it.
And
So
there was a
people
young man
should-
there who was like, oh, just tell me how much it's going to cost, because I need to go there. And I was just looking at him thinking, you got time, because you've missed it.
That's right.
You're still going to get there tomorrow.
Exactly.
So paying to get there tomorrow.
It's not gonna. Yeah, that's why it keeps happening and happening, because people are willing to pay.
Well, you see,
isn't
at
it?
that point, you see, you're almost, you know, like in a difficult situation, and you can't do anything else.
Yeah.
You feel that I want to get out. You're anxious. All the adrenaline is running.
They were nasty.
That's right.
And you're not thinking. You're right. They were nasty, because when you're just thinking of everything that, you know, you're thinking, oh my God, no, you're stuck here now. You're under that pressure, and they take advantage of the moment by demanding that you pay more. And I also learned Dr. Johnson missed his flight the day before, had the same experience. They demanded money from him also. So it's, you know, just be mindful. Lufthansa, Frankfurt, just be mindful. They ain't your friends.
TFL.
TFL. And at Heathrow, they'll give you a voucher for a sandwich. These Germans ain't that kind. Tell you that for free. These Germans weren't that kind. Oh no, it's only what happened to me.
Okay.
I'm only expressing my experience. Full stop. At one point I had to say to them, you guys are quite inhumane. because my flight was not till the next morning. This happened, by 11 o'clock in the morning. So we're talking another 12 hours because the flight is not happening till for another 12 hours. You didn't even tell me where I could drink water. And they said, oh, but you can drink water in the toilet. I was like, oh! You see my reaction? But that was before I learned that they put the water fountain by the toilet. Yeah.
Okay.
And they didn't
the language barrier.
It's not even that. I actually said to them, they said, oh, but the water fountain. And I said, but you didn't tell me there was a water fountain there.
Yeah.
You just told me I could drink water in the toilet. Just imagine how that sounds. I'm not German. I don't live in your country. I don't know that you don't have separate drinking water. No.
Reaction.
Anyway, let's move on. Don't you've done that.
You
Just
won't.
remember that. So anyway, that was horrendous enough. But I'm back and I'm in one piece and I'm glad. Anyhow, so there's been so much happening. And then there was the whole, happiness minister that's causing a stir on social media, I might add. The Minister for Happiness and Couples. I found the couples bit a little strange in Imo State.
On reflection, I'm not sure that I can say that is no different to the Minister for Sex in
Spain.
In Spain.
But
hold on. The reason I'm saying there's probably no difference because it's for couples. I guess in Nigeria we couldn't call it Minister for Sex. Well, so therefore, if you call it Minister of Happiness, because it's something that makes you happy.
Yes. We don't have a population problem.
No, it's not for that.
Actually, we have a population problem the other way around.
It's to distract you from the miseries that are in the country. They've missed the point, haven't they? That they should try and make the place livable. Then you might become lovable.
The governor is spending money building statues. Yeah. And the reports are that he's not paying full salary to, his civil servants.
Isn't it the usual thing that ministers will create problems so that they can create an answer?
Yeah.
And then,
how ministers
they don't allow the roads to be mended, then they have accidents and it just goes like that. So they make you miserable so that they can create a happiness minister to make you feel better.
It's
one of those days.
Moving on swiftly.
Yes.
Our Prime Minister and our Prince-to-be, our gorgeous, cute little Prince George, are said to be under threat from ISIS. It's a bit worrying, isn't it?
That is very worrying.
I think the whole world is under threat from ISIS. To be honest with you, I don't think it has anything to do with just those two. Those are the two that they're pulling out because they're important personalities.
Yeah.
But we are all under threat.
Indeed.
So
Indeed we are.
Finishes that.
But it therefore means that even the royals are not safe.
No.
Why should they be any safer than the rest of us?
Well, they do go around with a lot of
security
personnel and detail.
But I go around as well.
No, but it's safe. You see all the what's happening in the world.
Look at what happened at London Bridge.
Yes.
Blackfriars, the other one. Just people on the street. So you're no safer there than anywhere else.
I see what you're saying, and we hope that they can be kept safe and protected.
Oh, yes.
And then very quickly, Simon Cowell and his neighbours are having issues. Apparently, he's parking too many exotic cars and blocking his neighbours' front door, so his neighbours upset to the point he called the police.
How many cars?
Well,
plenty.
Cars.
Enough to call the police.
I don't know, but one of the things that we lack is space. In this London.
That's right.
So on most ordinary streets, you will find cars that block people. Even my driveway, I have to, tell people, please don't park here because you make me over-maneuver to get out. So,
no, but you would think that somebody of his stature financially would have parking space somewhere.
That's right.
You know, he'd have a garage and he
Yeah.
would sort of send his butler to go and fetch the car he wants for today.
Oh, that was
So
what I
you
was
don't
thinking
need
as
to
well.
have to block the whole street,
Yeah.
and you don't need to say, I am Simon
Apparently,
Cowell.
he's it's been going on for a while, and his friends came round and they were going to go to a party, according to this, and they parked in front of neighbour's house, and the neighbour got a bit upset. Called the police. Do you think there's a touch of jealousy somewhere? I'm sure neighbour's also a rich man, because he would, you know,
Yeah, it would
those
be
are the type. But you know, well, anyway, so Simon Cowell and his neighbours are fighting over parking space. It's good to know that, you know,
I think it's a
it's
case
not
of
just
who do you
ordinary
th-
people.
Yeah, but it's a case of who do you think you are,
Yes.
and that's
Yeah.
what's coming out of
It's a
that for
clash
me.
of egos.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. Big word.
On that note of the clash of egos, we are going to go on a short break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about Christmas and giving. So stay with us. See you soon.
The woman. 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 The woman.
Every culture and society has its differences. Yes, we are different, but united in one nation.
It's time for us to gather together.
I'm saying yes because yes means positivity.
I say yes to a better healthcare system because nobody's life should have to be cut short for things that can easily be fixed.
Join the movement. Say yes to a better Nigeria.
Yes to a better creative industry because it will boost our economy and make our country greater.
I'm saying yes, we can do it. About road, we can do it. About infrastructures, we can do it. Good education, yes, we can do it.
Join the movement. Say yes to a better Nigeria.
Yes to a better Nigeria.
Join the evolution by visiting the website at www.yesnigeria.org.
The woman.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. That first bit was rather interesting, was it not? Ladies, so we did mention at the top of the show that we were going to be discussing the giving this Christmas. And I know that both of you are representing different charities. We're going to look at, you know, some of the things that you guys are doing to support the community in different ways. So let me come to you first for me. You mentioned earlier about representing Barking Food Bank. Food bank, we all hear of food banks, but although I've never been to one, but there are people who go to food banks. Tell us the type of people that go to a food bank.
You'll be surprised, all sorts of people. It's not just, I think, before I started managing the food bank, I had a stereotype in my head of the kind of people who go to the food banks. And working in the food bank, managing the food bank, you'll be surprised. You will be surprised. So it's not just people on benefit delays and, you know, on benefits. It's everyone. Just I mean, any and everyone.
I mean, it's a case of poverty, isn't it?
Yes,
and poverty can hit anybody.
Yes, at any time. At any time. So it could be a temporary crisis situation, or it could be, you know, an ongoing crisis situation. Yes.
So, you know, is there some kind of a criteria assessment before they can access the food, or do they just can I just come along and say, you know, I need food? Well,
both work? Actually. Our food bank is part of the Trussell Trust network of food banks, so there is an operating model. What we do is we have referral partners. These are frontline professionals who deal with people in a crisis situation.
When you say referral partners, is that like
doctors?
Yeah, so like
the DSS or something like that?
Yes, like the DWP, so job centres,
even schools.
Yes, health visitors, doctor surgeries, children's centres, other charities as well. So any organisation that work with people in crisis situation, and they do the assessment to identify a food need.
Okay.
So they become referral partners with us. So they are the ones who issue these vouchers. So when we call them clients, when these people come to us, we don't ask questions. Because once they come, we have what we call vouchers. So exactly, it's the word food bank, right? Okay, so it's a food bank. So when you go to the when I go to do school talks, assemblies in primary school, I give this illustration. I say, when you go out with mummy to buy to the supermarket, so you go to, say, Tesco, and you see something that you like. So I'd ask, what's your favorite sweet? And they would say something, you know. And I would say, do you just pick it off the shelf and do you just eat it like that? They say no. I said, what do you do? We take it to the till, mommy pays for it, either with her card or with cash, and then I can have it. I said, good. The same thing with the food bank. So people come, the equivalent of that money is the vouchers. So they come with the vouchers from these referral partners.
In effect, the voucher isn't money in any way. It's more like a permission to get food from this particular place, because really they're supposed to go to a particular place to get that food, isn't it?
Yes, but actually the vouchers is worth £25 because
I was going to say, does it have a monetary value?
Does. It does have a monetary value. Yes. So our vouchers, we don't throw them away. We have to keep them for accountability purposes.
Well, that's correct.
Yeah.
But the same voucher, depending on the size of your family, will get you different amounts of food. So one voucher, if it is worth £25,
on average,
if you are one-parent family, let's say, that means 2 people, and depending on the ages of your children as to what you will get. Or you could be a 4 member family, so it's like an adult and 3 children, or 2 adults and 2 big children, or whatever it is. So that would get more food.
Yes.
Because there are criteria, aren't there, for the amount. The reason I'm talking like this is because I was part of a food bank, so I know exactly.
That's good, because it's helpful information, because we often don't realize what goes into it.
That's right.
You just think food bank, do I just go there and just grab off the shelf?
No.
Or is there a process to it? And what is that process really?
I mean, the process is that you're given a set amount of food, like you'll get 2 tins of tomato, 4 this, 3 that, and so on. And of course, I think you try to take care that the food assists the different groups. So say, for example, you are Muslim, so you wouldn't eat pork, so nothing that is pork related would be given to you. So whereas they might give somebody, hot dogs, they will give you tins of fish instead, which you could eat. So we try to be sensitive in that way, so that everybody got what they want. So, even if it's rice, you would maybe get basmati rather than long grain, because that's what you would eat.
But do you...
And that depends on what's given in, because if people haven't donated it, you can't have what we don't.
Naturally. But if I was to come in, as you've both, explained so kindly, can I choose what I want, or it's going to be given to me?
Well, how do I well, you cannot actually choose what you want, but we can give you options. So, for example, we would ask you if you want rice or pasta, or you want a little bit of both. We would ask you if you want tea or coffee, cereal. So if we have, it's based on what we have
available.
Yes. If we have different types of a particular food, then we will give the option.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Very, very interesting. Do feel free to call in. Our number is 0208-808-0693. Have you given to a food bank? Have you been to a food bank? Whatever your contributions are, it'd be great to hear what your thoughts are on food banks. And Lynn, to you, we made mention there that Womanhood Global,
that's right,
who you're working in partnership with.
That's correct.
You're working to support this whole drive.
That's right.
For collecting or providing sanitary towels to women across the world.
That's right.
Tell us about that.
Well, it was initially, I first saw it, like I said, on social media. And then the minute I saw it, I was like, I didn't even hesitate. I knew I had to be involved. It goes back to when I started menstruating myself. And I used to be very heavy. Like I go downstairs, before I even leave the room, I need to go back up and change. That's number one. Number two, I remember back in the day, I'm from Zimbabwe, and when I was in primary school, you know how some girls, they start menstruating early.
Quite early.
Quite
yeah.
early. And there was a girl, she couldn't afford any sanitary towels. And when this happened, she used to be laughed at by boys, girls as well. And I remember the teacher used to say, "You're embarrassment. You're embarrassing." Yeah. And they used to, you know, get her out of the classroom. And that stayed with me. So when I saw this campaign of the 1 million pads, I just knew I just had to get involved and raise more awareness and help the disadvantaged girls. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the amazing thing about this is that I thought I knew a lot of things, but I really only discovered that there was such a need.
That's right.
About 5 years ago. And that was one of the reasons why I felt we really had to have this on. It's an unusual one for having out in public in this way, but it's so necessary. Because I think, unfortunately, menstruating and things like that is something you can't help.
That's
Well,
you know, it has to happen.
Yes, as women.
Women,
You know, it's the norm.
That's correct. Yes.
So it's really an appeal to other women to understand the embarrassment that they would feel and say, how can another woman suffer that?
It's not even that. Just think about when we have a leak.
Yeah.
Even those of us that can, you have a leak.
does happen.
And, you know, I remember one day, not too long ago, I got off the tube at Old Street and I saw this young woman. I really felt for her.
Yeah.
She had, you know, obviously she's trying to get home. And you know when you've gotten to that point where you've just gone like that, switched off.
Yeah.
It's there. I'm going home. And I applauded her, you know, within me, that I like the way she's just going. But I tell you, as an individual, I've had a leak and I've gotten up and there were men there. And I know how I just, when I found out what had happened, I died.
Just like,
I was mortified.
Yes.
You know.
But that's because, you know, physical things or health things do not involve men. And I just emphasize that in the sense that there are cultures like cultures in India, Nepal, even, you know, Kenya, where the having a menstrual cycle is like a curse.
That's right.
The gods will bring curses into the house. So actually the woman is required to get out. You know? And I mean, there are children that are...
No, not at all.
No, but there are people who have...
No, I know now, but I mean that for a lot of other parts of the world, that was normal.
No, but children
in the old
died.
days.
It was,
And we've moved away from that, but some cultures maintain
Children
it.
have died
That's true.
sitting out in the bush. Can you imagine you're bleeding, and
how
some
many days?
wild animal comes along
You
and
become a
meat.
prey to
Exactly,
snakes and
then
whatever.
and then on top of that, you are like a visual thing. Oh, look what's happening to this person.
Wow.
Everybody knows what is going on.
Yeah.
You can't hide it.
Ladies, we have Trish on the line. Let's hear from Trish and hear what she has to say. Hi, Trish. Good evening. Trish? Okay, I believe you're still on the line. Whatever it is, our engineer has not been able to connect you just yet. So I ask that you stay on the line. We will come back to you.
No, but if I can just go into what you were saying, they're using rags, dirty rags. Now, come on, these are sometimes countries where they can't even get clean water to drink. That's right. Then you're having to wash that in dirty water. So you have a situation in say, which country, Bangladesh, I think it was, I was reading, where they're in the clothes industry, the women are having to take 6 days off, which means they're not being paid. They're only getting only $2 a day to do the job that they're doing. So now they're off. And then they're off not just for the fact that they don't have the pads, but they've got infections. I mean,
there's so much happening. Go ahead, Lynn.
I was just going to make a comment about what Ike's just said, because in majority of those cultures, it's the women that are the breadwinners.
Yeah.
So when they have to get off work as a result of
it affects the family.
It does. It does. Yes. It does.
It's so sad when you're thinking we're in 2017 you know, the memo would have gone round by now to say that this is a normal flow for women, and it's not something that should be shunned or should be embarrassed about. But you would have thought the education is part of the process. Otherwise, you can't have children and whatever. But yet,
you know something. We are talking about it from the African context, as though it's a thing, but in America, first world, hey.
It's all over the
They actually
America first.
You know, well, not in this then, okay. But they actually give food stamps, what they call food stamps.
Yeah.
And those people that receive these food stamps are not permitted.
They're usually people on welfare.
Yeah, but they're not permitted to use the food stamps to buy sanitary wear.
It's not a part of. Are you serious?
Yes. It's not considered an essential commodity.
Okay, we have Trish back.
I can hear them, but they can't hear me.
We can hear
Trish,
you now.
we can hear you now.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to the program, Trish. Where are you calling
Hi.
from, please?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
I have a question for a lady, Elaine Kanyoa. Yes, I just wanted to find out how is she collecting the sanitary pads. I stay in Scotland. So I would love to help as well.
Oh, that's nice, Trish. Is this because Scotland is giving them for free now?
Yes, Scotland is.
We appreciate that. Thank you. Lynn, please.
Yeah, you can be a coordinator. Or may I say it's my mom? Hello, mom.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
She wants to know how you're collecting these pads.
Yes, we are. You can connect with me through social media. And that is on LKN Beauty Base, and you can connect me through there. And we do have a GoFundMe page that we have set up if those who want to donate.
Okay.
And we are also encouraging people to be coordinators as well, because we need more hands on deck. So if you would like to be a collector, you can get in touch with me, and then we can organize that, set that up. Yeah.
So Womanhood Global is really looking for more people.
We need
that
more,
can collect.
Yes, that's right.
And then it will be sent. Is
Yes.
it? Thank you very much, Trish. We appreciate your call and great question there.
Yeah.
Where are they sending it? I know that we're talking worldwide, but where is Womanhood Global distributing this to?
They'll be distributed in Zimbabwe to disadvantaged, specifically to disadvantaged girls. In
so is Zimbabwe the starting point?
Yes,
okay.
That's right. It is Zimbabwe the starting point. Yes,
that's
good to know. You have to remember that when a child doesn't have the sanitary wear, they cannot go to school. It affects their education, and then the cycle just continues. And I just wanted to bring you in here with your food bank. That it's not just food that you're collecting, because people think food bank, food only. Please tell them what else you collect.
Well, all Trussell Trust food banks are encouraged to go into more than food initiatives, and we've gone into a lot more than foods. I did mention in the beginning that the food bank is just one of 5 projects that we run. Okay. So we have a clothes bank as well.
I was going to say.
Yes.
That's good.
We have a clothes bank. Clients who get referred, we call people in crisis situation, we call them clients. So when they get referred to us, they can have access to our clothes bank. And
what are some of the other banks? Let's name them.
Okay, the other things that we have. Okay, so we've got the clothes bank. We've got the kitchen services. Do you want me to explain that? Okay, very briefly. We identified in the food bank that a lot of women, it was a worrying concern because a lot of women, especially women with children, were rejecting certain items that they had to cook. And that was because a lot of the women were referred from refuge centres. So women fleeing domestic violence, for example, families waiting to be housed, women...
These are people that are probably lodged in hotels or something?
Yes. So the council lodges them in temporary accommodations, and in those accommodations, they only have access to a microwave. So any food item that cannot be microwaved, they say they reject it.
But it's also not just that cannot be microwaved, they cannot be opened
Oh yes,
You know,
yes.
because we were
Thank you
talking
for
about
saying that, EK.
Because
Yes,
you know that they now
yes.
have tins, and I kind of like them as well. Though they're a bit more expensive, where you can
You
pull
pull
the tin.
back, yeah,
Because
pull
you can
back,
imagine
yeah.
someone who doesn't have a kitchen doesn't necessarily have a tin,
tin opener. Yes,
so it's
exactly.
packets, things
Yeah.
that can easily be
Yeah.
opened,
Yeah.
dealt
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
That's what I
easily.
mean
So-
about our consideration.
Yeah.
I don't think Germans do that.
Yeah.
We're still
so,
on that.
yeah, with the kitchen services.
It's going to be a third world war after this. You know that. Started by you on the Women's Show. Hey.
I'm sorry, it's a very serious issue. Please continue. I'm sorry.
I'm getting concerned. Forget ISIS.
Yeah, so with the our kitchen services is we allow those women to use our kitchen. So what we did, and it was a community-based effort in terms of people in the community came together, and once they got to know that we were building a kitchen, they came and they offered their services, and we built this kitchen. Anyway, it's a 8-unit kitchen, 8 cooking units kitchen. We have a washing machine, a dryer. They could come cook
So
the
you
food.
effectively provide like a centre.
Yes, so
And
it's
they
like a
come in and they
community
can-
hub, yes,
Oh,
and people
that's-
chat, and it quickly became a community hub, and
Oh, that's lovely.
they come, they wash their clothes, do their laundry, cook
We
a
still
meal.
have 2 more that you have to tell us. We've got Bola on the line. So let's hear what Bola has to say. Hi, Bola. Welcome to the program.
Hello, hi, good evening, everyone.
What are you doing on that side of the phone? You're meant to be here.
I'm really enjoying the show here.
Thank you for calling.
For a change, huh? You get to watch it.
To the guests today as well. I think it's been really insightful. And I've
Okay.
learned a lot about the food banks myself, actually, and what facilities you provide. So thank you for that. One of my questions actually was, in terms of the sanitary provision, other than connecting with you online, is there somewhere that we could, for example, drop these, you know, while we're on our way to work, on our way back? You know, how can we find it quite easily and accessibly?
Okay, yes.
So if I just did my shopping and I wanted to drop off some items either to the food bank or to the sanitary charity.
Okay. Thank you, Bola. I appreciate that. Great question.
Thank you. It depends. Where are you based, Bola?
Well, I'm in London.
You're
so
in London.
I'm quite accessible.
All right, fantastic. We could organize with me, and we could meet up and collect.
How can she reach you online? Because she was asking.
Or reach me online. So you can message me on Facebook.
Okay.
Yes, you can find me there. And
What
we
about
can
Womanhood
arrange-
Global?
Womanhood
Is there
Global.
any online contact for them?
That's right. There is a page, Womanhood Global. If you go on them as well, they've got all the details there, and you can
Okay.
get in touch with them. But please do reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to help you out on that one. Yes.
Great. And for me, regarding the food bank, because she was also asking, where do we drop the foods?
If you don't mind me asking, are you specific about what food bank? Because I'm Barking Food Bank, or is it a food bank nearest to where you live?
Any food bank, actually, just that, you know, somewhere where you feel that you can give. I mean, I know lots of churches are giving.
Yes.
My church has a food bank as well, but sometimes it's just nice, you know, on your way home or whatever, you've got things that you can provide. How do you drop those off and where?
Okay, our website is www.barkingfoodbank.co.uk. So we've also, the parent charity is the Hope Family Trust, and it's www.hopefamilytrust.co.uk. And we've got Twitter as well. So if you want to make a donation to us, if you've bought the items, then if you don't mind, you'd have to drive. I don't know where you live, but you have to drive down to Barking.
I'm sure that your Hope Trust will have other centres as well.
Alternatively, food banks have collection points. So the nearest Tesco to where you live, we have via the Trussell Trust, yes? The Trussell Trust has a corporate partnership with Tesco stores. So in Tesco stores, there are collection points. If you ask when you go into a Tesco,
Actually, I've seen that.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? And I said, why should I give you Tesco's food? I didn't know what it was for, who it was for.
do you mind me interrupting you there? We had Tesco food collection. I'll explain what that is very shortly. And a gentleman walked up to me on Saturday and he said, is this for Tesco? I said, no.
Exactly.
It's for the charity. I said, all right, so long as it's not for Tesco, that's fine. And then he made his donation.
That's it. Well, Bola, what can we say? We miss you tonight, but we're looking forward to seeing you next week. Thank you for calling in.
Ladies. See you next week.
See you next week. Much appreciated, Dal. So, you know, it's a normal reaction. Because now that I know that, you know, you have that corporate partnership with Tesco's, I will give them food. But, you know, I was standing there one day and I'm thinking, hang on a minute. I saw there's nobody there for me to ask. That's why. I was looking, I'm thinking, hang on. You're collecting food again. Shouldn't you be giving food?
It should be the other way around.
You know something, in addition, what I was going to just point out is that in addition to food at the food bank, we need hygiene products.
Oh yes, yes.
Because that tends to get forgotten. Because you must imagine somebody who doesn't have very much money will look at their belly first before they look at cleanliness.
That's
true.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they will buy food, which will make
we take it for granted, don't we? That sometimes somebody can't buy a 99p shower gel. There were 2 other areas that you collect in. You haven't told us. You said there were 5.
Oh, you mean our projects?
Yes, your project, sorry.
Yes. The other project that we run is called The Lighthouse. And what we do at The Lighthouse is we partnered with a boxing training organization. They do boxing fitness. They're professional boxing coaches.
Right.
And we have this, I call it a symbiotic relationship. So the premises where we currently occupy, we have a fully equipped gym. A lot of the stuff in there were donated by the Abbey Leisure Centre. So we've got a fully equipped gym. So what we did with this boxing organization is they will train our young people because in Barking, as you know, it's one of the very deprived boroughs in the UK. And young people have very limited choices as to where to go after school extracurricular activities.
Yes.
So we have this a well-outfitted gym.
Yeah.
So our young people in the borough come to use the gym. And we don't do boxing. We don't know nothing about boxing, right?
So you get the professionals.
The professionals, they train our young people in boxing fitness. And then in exchange, they get to use the facility for their professional boxers. Okay,
that's a fair
jump into there. Because I know that, first of all, on the 22nd, you're having a dinner, but on the 16th, you're actually dismantling this gym.
Oh yes, and that is the Christmas.
Men or old men, whoever.
Well, okay.
Can I just make a quick appeal?
Before we do that, because I've got 4 minutes left. What was the last area that you, because there's a 4th.
Oh yes, the last project that we also do is it's quite a mouthful. Don't ask me how I got that name, but it's called Beyond the Bars Pathway to Hope. And it is a 16-week training program to get ex-offenders into work.
Fabulous.
Yes.
Okay, because we've got 4 minutes.
Yes.
So very, very quickly for me, Lynn.
Yes.
Tell people out there how they can get involved with what you do.
Yes.
Where they can find you. Just give us whatever you can, especially online, because we're all online nowadays.
We are online. Okay, so you can find me on Facebook, Lynn Kanyuan Glovu, or LKN Beauty Base. I'm the founder of that page. You can find us there. And Woman Globalhood.
Womanhood Global.
Womanhood Global, who are actually leading the campaign. So you can find them on Facebook as well, and you can find them online on www.womanhoodglobal.co.uk. I also want to quickly mention that on the 10th of February in Birmingham, there's going to be the high tea event where all the sanitary towels will be brought in together, and they do the countdown before they're sent to Zimbabwe. So everybody is invited, and all the details are on the Womanhood Global page.
So very quickly, clean for us, for me. You know, your plenty many projects. Yeah. How do we get involved?
Well, on the 22nd of December, we're having our annual Christmas party for our food bank clients. At that party, we will be giving out 250 hampers, Christmas hampers, specially packed hampers. We will be giving out coats and jackets. Okay. We'll also be giving out Christmas turkeys.
And the gym is being broken down?
Yes, because we're using the gym hall for that to accommodate people.
So who do you need to help?
So we need strapping young men to come on
muscle.
To come on the 16th. It's a Saturday.
So where do we find details online?
If you go on our website, hopefamilytrust.co.uk or barkingfoodbank.co.uk.
Okay, Miss Ike, last word.
Food is not just for Christmas.
Thank you. Well, what can we say? We would like you to support these causes. It is Christmas. It's about giving. Lastly, be careful flying with Lufthansa. On behalf of myself and the ladies tonight, we shall see you next week. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
The woman.